I'm on my way to 100, and also I'm on my way trying to beat Horizon Zero Dawn now. So this is it right here. I'm probably gonna be a little quiet because I actually want to hear what's gonna happen, and I like to hear the dialogue and all that stuff. So uh, join in, chit chat. We could talk, ask questions. I got you. Trust. Yo, yo. So yeah, here we go.
We're gonna give him knowledge. Like it's a gift.
Ted, we've talked about this before. Apollo has 3,000 plus fail-safe conditions.
It's not a gift, it's a disease. They're the cure, and we're gonna give them the disease. Our disease? No, we can't. And it's not too late. If we're willing to sacrifice.
It doesn't need to be like this.
It already is, Sunita. I did it 3 minutes ago. I've purged Apollo. It's gone. All of it. Every copy.
A sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice. It's cultural obliteration, you crazy bastard. Millennia of culture.
I'm sorry. Really, I am. But sometimes, to protect innocence, innocents have to die.
Emergency alert. Planting atmosphere.
Wow. That was cold. That was really cold. My bad, I'm re-upping just in case if anything crazy happens. I have my weapons ready to go.
So this is why. This is why we were trapped in benighted ignorance for an innocent future. Blameless men. He never saw the slaughter in the sea turned to dust. Scattered in the void, like the alphas themselves.
No. Not a void. When the hatch had sealed and scattered their ashes on the wind, it took them out among the world they made. The world we're living in. It's a monument to what they died trying to accomplish.
A monument to oblivion.
Not oblivion, silence. The master override. It's so small.
Now all you have to do is kill Hades with it. Try not to fall to your death. The master override doesn't override gravity.
Man. Humans in our ignorance. We think our ideas, what we hold internal, is what can be applied to the world, when in reality we are the creation. The creation itself can't play the role of God. Doesn't make sense. Okay, now where does it want me to go? It wants me to go up there. So why they sent me here? There's nothing to climb here. Oh, there it is. Yo, also, if you guys didn't notice, I got that special suit on.
What?
Our journey together has come to an end, Aloy. But before I go, I think I owe it to you to tell you the rest of the story. Some time ago, I admitted that I'd been involved with the Eclipse. But I never told you the full extent of my culpability. The truth is, I was there at the beginning. I found the ladies, Aloy, buried on that mountain, trapped in that shattered temple. And I said, you promised knowledge and delivered it. Such knowledge, you have no idea.
And in exchange?
I helped create the Eclipse, helped it build a cult, an army to do its will.
Why are you telling me this now?
Because your success depends on knowing this. When I found Hades, the first thing it wanted to know about was the Spire. Not Meridian. The Spire. Now why would that be?
Spire was created by Gaia.
Which part of Gaia?
Minerva. It's code-breaking module. Gaia
Pause.
Spires to...
Okay, so this is the second time I've heard that name, Minerva. I've heard it in Assassin's Creed before. Alright, and in Assassin's Creed, okay, one of the reasons why I like this game, because it reminds me a lot of Assassin's Creed, and I think I spoke about this before. Originally in Assassin's Creed, there's a story that happens where there's Desmond Miles, and his DNA actually traces back far to a lot of his ancestors, and a bunch of his ancestors were assassins. And you find certain relics, certain things that help you get closer to who those who came before, who they were. And this is what I'm noticing the same pattern. You know what I'm saying, with Aloy and in the Horizon, which it's those who came before. They are the reason why they exist, and somewhere down the line, humans get destroyed by some sort of catastrophic event. And so I'm noticing the same pattern in this game. But what's crazy is, like, they changed it up and made those who came before human beings. And this is like after our generation, some major event happens where our generation starts all over again. And and this is what we have here. But what's crazy, they mentioned the name Minerva. Minerva was also mentioned in Assassin's Creed. I can't remember exactly who Minerva was. I think she was one of those who came before, and she stored her conscience away in the ancient technologies of those who came before, and the people who worked with I can't remember their names. I haven't played Assassin's Creed in a long time. But they're the good guys and the bad guys, and the bad guys want to use the knowledge of the ancients to rule the world, while the assassins they don't want that, period. You know what I'm saying? So they want freedom, for everyone, and Minerva, she plays a role in it too, where she wants to be a god basically and run everything. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, like this game kind of reminds me of something like that. So hopefully, it continues to get interesting because right now it has me. I'm hooked because I've thought about this like throughout, you know, the last couple of days. Like, excuse me, what am I gonna see next? What's gonna be the next part of the story? So let's see what happens afterwards.
Transmit the codes that deactivated the Pharaoh robots. Shut down their biomatter conversion systems. Hades wants to send a new transmission. To wake the machines, so they can devour the world all over again.
Yes. Based on what we've learned, that's my conclusion as well.
The Eclipse. The robots they resurrected. They're just a means to an end. An army to capture the Spire.
Yes. So Hades can exterminate life all over again. Unless you stop it.
I want you to tell me everything. Hades, the Eclipse. Everything.
It's a long story.
Then get us started.
It began with a focus, recovered from an ancient world, as yours was so many years ago. In my case, the device was heavily damaged. There was just a flicker of life in it. I spent weeks studying it, attempting repairs, until finally, I succeeded. A whole new dimension of perception opened right before my eyes.
Pause right there. All right. I've had this thing that I've constantly thought about in regards to perception and how we see the world and all that stuff, right? Okay, so right now we have this default perception of how we see the world and how we see everything. What I mean by default perception, uh, manipulated default perception, meaning like the perception of ideas that we have is all based on man-made ideas. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in all reality, if we don't know the core source of something and all we have is nothing but ideas and assumptions, we should never bring assumptions close to facts. We should always keep assumptions far away from facts because once they get close, assumptions tend to take over like a virus and then people tend to run with it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I've been streaming this whole time talking, and I just realized my mic wasn't in. Oh my God. Anyway, so let's do a quick run of everything I was saying while I was in the mute on camera. I think I'm just going to delete this. I don't know. But this game reminds me of Assassin's Creed. They mentioned the name Minerva. Minerva was also mentioned in Assassin's Creed. All right. The Templars, which were the enemies of the assassins, they wanted to rule the world, while the assassins wanted the world to have total freedom. Now Minerva was part of the ancient group that they called those who came before, and Minerva, she basically transferred her conscience as the other elites in those in the ancient ones in their group, but she did something under the table where she slid her conscience into the ancients' machines or technology, and she wanted herself to continue on and basically be reborn as a god. So I believe that's who Minerva was. So right now, I'm noticing the patterns between this and Assassin's Creed. Now, I've had a couple of theories in regards to who we are as humans, where we come from, and who we are today, and where we're heading. And I think we're repeating. I think there were human beings that existed millions of years before us, and some major catastrophic event happened, and it caused us to start all over again, hence prehistoric times. And everybody wants to say dinosaurs and this and that. What if dinosaurs were the species that humans coexisted with at the time? And then after humans extinct, after dinosaurs extinct, went extinct. Human beings continue on to live, and they started living with these creatures who survived the catastrophic events that wiped the dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? And what if there was creatures way different before than that? Everybody says, okay, if this is true, I've had this conversation with a bunch of friends before. If this is true, then where's the proof of their technology and all this stuff? Where actually the proof of their technology exists within the ruins, not within, but with the ruins. The ruins are the example of what they were able to do with their technology. And maybe they had other ways. Maybe they didn't have physical computers, which we use now. Maybe they figured that they themselves were a computer, this organic bio computer, whatever, this and that, right? And they figured that they didn't need no physical hard drive because the brain was the hard drive, and that they didn't need to write stuff down on paper because the brain itself was a storage unit, and they figured out the DNA was like a USB, and they could forward their knowledge and information through the DNA onto their offsprings. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they found all these things out. You know what I'm saying? It's so much. You know what I'm saying? And the whole I get into this conversation with a lot of people, especially religious people. Like I have religious friends, and who talk about God and who they think God is. And in reality, if you think God is something, then you're defying what God is. You're going against what the title of God. We shouldn't be able to understand God. We shouldn't. If there is, okay, the being that they describe, which we all call God, it is impossible to understand what God is. And for us to even say one or two words of what God is and explain what God is, it goes against the title God, because we can't comprehend on God's existence, because he is on a higher level of existence. Our minds are restricted to thinking about the little things in front of us, the things that we see and believe to be a major factor in our lives. You know what I'm saying? In reality, okay, like when you see somebody homeless out in the street, right? This person is homeless. Why are they homeless? Why are they poor? You know what I'm saying? They're only poor because of the fact that they can't exist in the setup reality that we have today, which, paying bills, going to work, and all these things. But let's say if we had none of this right here, this pre-made plan by man where this is the way you must live, and let's say we had to live off the land and all this stuff, would they still be considered as homeless or bums or anything like that? Like, would we still consider them as that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I tend to think deep about these things, and I've been told I'm thinking too deep. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody who works out. I'm like mentally, I would call myself a bodybuilder mentally. You know what I'm saying? A bodybuilder doesn't necessarily need to build his body. You know what I'm saying? Because let's say, to me, if you're a cashier or a telemarketer, you do not need to be this muscle bound dude. You know what I'm saying? There's no need. But there's like some people who are like health nuts, you know what I'm saying? And they love to have a perfect physique. You know what I'm saying? This is how I am with my brain. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I shouldn't have to just live off the defaulted idea, excuse me, the tampered defaulted ideas that man should live off of. Like, I shouldn't have to do that. I like to think farther. You know what I'm saying? And this here reminds me of Assassin's Creed, and Assassin's Creed kind of makes you do that. It makes you think farther than the things that you know. Adam and Eve, God, all these things, Jesus Christ, it makes you think about all these things, and this is kind of doing the same to me. You know what I'm saying? But I still keep my faith. I believe there's a higher being, but I just can't name the higher being because why? He is too far for me to understand. And the books that we may have, it could be a collected bunch of stories from different people who are saying, that giving an explanation to what they think God is. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. This is just me, and this is my own assumptions, my own ideas. Please don't run with my assumptions or ideas. You know what I'm saying? Do your own research, do your own thing. That's what I do. I don't give my ideas and thoughts to anyone in order for them to run with it. You know what I'm saying? This is me just expressing my thoughts. But anyways, continue on with the game.
That's when I detected a faint signal. Out there, something was searching, just like I was.
A real kindred spirit.
I followed the signal to its source. A shattered titan, buried in the jungles of the Jew.
So you thought it was a titan? An old war machine?
I didn't know what to think. I'd seen such wreckage before. The Grave Horde, for example. But this was different. This was not quite dead. It couldn't speak when I found it, until my repairs gave it a voice. So began an exchange of knowledge. It wanted to know everything about our world, its tribes and machines. But the Spire was always its foremost concern.
What did it want to know about the Spire?
Its precise location, the surrounding geography, who controlled the land. Meanwhile, Hades revealed to me many of the intricacies of ancient technology. It bid me to recover and repair more focuses. Before long, I had a couple dozen up and running.
Enough to equip a small army.
The commanders of one, anyway. I didn't care. I was learning so much. Physics, calculus. You have no idea.
And the Shadow Karja? How did they become involved?
The Karja Civil War was a happy coincidence. A perfect opportunity.
An opportunity? That's what it was to you?
Yes. Overnight, half the tribe was in exile, desperate to win back Holy Meridian. Their religion made them easy to manipulate. All I had to do was present Hades as the buried shadow of their mythology. So yes, it was an opportunity. I arranged for High Priest Bahavas to meet with Hades. Helis was there as well. And so the eclipse was born. Anything to win back Holy Meridian.
But Hades didn't care about Meridian. And neither did you.
We live in a world of fallen cities and vanished tribes. What were a few more? Besides, I was too busy setting up the cult's focus network to Hades' specifications. A thrilling technical challenge.
The ability for you to spy on them.
Yes. I may have been foolish enough to serve Hades, but I was never so foolish that I trusted it. I installed what the ancients used to call a back door in the network. Secret access, empowering me to monitor all activity and communications.
What made you turn on Hades? It certainly wasn't your conscience.
Actually, I was troubled the first time I saw the Eclipse raise an ancient war robot. With my technology. I questioned Hades about its intentions.
A little late.
Indeed. I'd already outlived my usefulness. When I completed work on the Focus Network, Hades summoned me to receive my reward. The next moment, I heard it broadcast my kill order. I've been a fugitive ever since.
So when did I come into this? Our path together?
When Olin stumbled on you. System threat detected. That got my attention. A kill order against a savage Nora girl? Why would Hades bother with that? But then I saw that this Nora girl was wearing a focus, and bore an uncanny resemblance to a great scientist of the old world. Helis moved quickly. I thought you were dead. But then I detected your focus, inside the Nora mountain. The more I observed you, the more convinced I became of your extraordinary nature. And usefulness. Through you, I could finally discover the secrets of the Earth. I vowed to do everything I could to ensure your success. The rest, as they used to say, is history.
You've done terrible things, Silence. But you've also done what you could to undo them. I can't say you've balanced the scale, but at least you've tried.
To be clear, Aloy, I would do it all again. A few more safeguards, perhaps. But basically the same.
Really? So much for learning from mistakes.
I've done all I can. From here on out, the rest is up to you. Take my lance. Fit the master override to it, and you have a means of injection.
Then I just need to get close enough to Hades' skull to stab it in?
Exactly.
Oh, no problem. Silence! Where will you go?
Elsewhere. And everywhere. There's so much more to discover before the world ends.
And all this?
I leave it to you, of course. As it turned out, it was yours all along. I was merely trespassing.
That the Eclipse are ready to strike. After what happened with Dervahl, I know he'll defend the city. But the Spire...
Task is complete.
Well, I guess that's all, because I'm gonna go ahead and start doing side missions to build her up and probably fill all of this up before I go ahead and continue the story. I only got 5 more to fill up. So thank you for tuning in. I'm sorry for the mic being on mute the whole time. Oh my god. Anyways, man, thank you for joining, and if you watched, I appreciate you. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. This your man JayOrbit. I'm almost at 100 subscribers, y'all. I'm almost there, yo, and I appreciate you guys, man, for all that you've done for me. You know what I'm saying? And it's mad cool of y'all. I didn't have to, but y'all did it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, y'all be cool, man, and stay up. Yo, be easy, y'all.